We've spoken to some of the people behind GameStop's rise in stock price to find out exactly what's been going on. GameStop stock is still acting strangely. It shot even higher after last week's surge, which drove GameStop's value skyrocketing to record levels. One Reddit group seemingly driving the surge has been thrust into the spotlight. Popularly described as 4chan with a Bloomberg terminal, r/WallStreetBets is a wild west of stock investing advice and memes. IGN reporter Matt Kim reached out and spoke to several r/WallStreetBets day traders to find out more. GameStop stock has been steadily rising for the past week now and peaked yesterday at a price of $145 per share. By comparison, GameStop stock reached a low of $3 just last year. Some Wall Street investors bet that GameStop would continue to struggle and began short selling the company, a strategy where an investor borrows stock from that particular company, in this case GameStop, and sells it in the hopes that prices for the stock will continue to drop. If that happens, they can buy back the stock for even less and keep the difference as a profit. But instead of going down, prices are in fact going up. Very bad news for short sellers who have to buy back the stock they borrowed. Redditors on r/WallStreetBets saw the short early and moved in to buy GameStop stock early and cheaply, creating a short squeeze. If you've seen the 2015 movie The Big Short, then this may all sound familiar to you.
And I can profit off of their stupidity. Yeah, I want them to be right.
If you haven't seen it, then please do, because A, it'll help you understand all this, and B, well, simply because it's an absolute banger. 3 traders from r/WallStreetBets told IGN that they're not full-time traders with Wolf of Wall Street aspirations, but merely hobbyists, while a 4th says they're still relatively new to trading. I had seen the subreddit in some YouTube video after I got into trading, but was only doing my own thing until this GME stuff really started to pop off and I bought in, said one trader who asked to go by Ike for privacy reasons. Ike bought GME stock when it was around $30 and says he spent around $600 on his position. He says his option is now worth around 5 times that value, but is still waiting before selling. Since we spoke, that's likely even higher. When asked why they went in on GME, Ike says that it took some convincing and due diligence, but that it was mostly FOMO or fear of missing out. Another trader named TJ says they invest on the side for fun, while working as a full-time engineer at a major tech company. Their option is worth 6 figures, after going in at a buy-in price for around $18 per stock. In keeping with their 4chan with a Bloomberg terminal mantra, these traders prefer memeing their way through Wall Street using terms like FOMO or YOLO to explain away their investment decisions. If it needed any further reinforcing that these people aren't your typical Wall Street professionals, then look no further than the username u/deep fucking value. And they certainly seem to know deep value when they see it, with the price of their GameStop stock at a mammoth $13 million. That, my friends, is deep in value. One thread by user Dumbledore Roth IRA is titled, "I'm not selling this until at least 1,000 plus GME," with an additional expletive and some rocket ship emojis for good measure. Because why wouldn't you? Let's not forget that this is all going down on Reddit. The subreddit is also claiming a victory against hedge fund Melvin Capital Management, a short seller that the Wall Street Journal reports is getting an outside investment to help stabilize the fund after a variety of short bets fell through, one of which was Melvin's bet against GameStop. A combination of years of online retailers dominating the market and the obvious fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic has seen GameStop suffer recently. They still remain a well-known brand, albeit one that's struggling. Whereas investors on Wall Street proper saw a struggling retailer, WallStreetBets instead saw an underdog and a piece of their gaming childhood. Ike says they were very aware of GameStop both from their childhood and recent news. Like most my age, GameStop used to be a place I'd go often for games as a kid, and I knew about its decline as I've watched the closure of one of its stores close to me. So what happens next? Well, one side effect from the GameStop stock squeeze is the extra added scrutiny on r/WallStreetBets. Mainstream and finance-focused publications are covering the subreddit in recent days and not in the way the community finds helpful. News coverage has been unfair and misleading, often referring to WSB as a single entity that makes decisions for millions of people, says Ike. But take only a glance at the sub and you'll see just how wrong that is. It's full of people taking all sides on an investment and people posting random half the time. TJ says they're worried that the media coverage could harm inexperienced investors jumping into stocks without researching. They believe that a lot of people will lose more than they can afford because of the notoriety. As for their GME options, the investors say they'll eventually sell and hopefully even make a profit. There's also been financial damage to Melvin Capital, which was reported to have closed out of its GameStop position after acquiring nearly $3 billion in external financing to help stabilize its fund. There are several hedge funds in similar trouble for their own GameStop options. So in essence, Ike is Ryan Gosling, TJ is Brad Pitt, in value is Christian Bale, Dumbledore Roth IRA is Steve Carell, and the Melvins and other similar hedge funds are all the angry, crying people at the end of The Big Short. I'm sure this has cleared everything up for you. The end isn't in sight yet though. While we've seen stock continue to rise, Reddit temporarily went down, Discord has banned the WSB community, and the Biden administration is now looking into the situation. The situation is already completely unprecedented, but where it goes next could be even more interesting.